How's this year been for you? What are the sort of biggest challenges that you faced in 2020 and how have you found yourself overcoming them?
Yeah, I mean, look, 2020 it still is a crazy year. Like, we're still in it. um,
Wild. I'm Toyin Ajayi. I'm a co-founder and chief health officer of Cityblock Health. We're a tech-enabled provider of primary care, behavioral health, and social care for underserved communities.
my name is Iman Abuzeid. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Incredible Health, which is a career marketplace for healthcare workers. As you're looking towards the future, right? Like, if you think about the next year, next 12 to 18 months, like what's in store for you and also for City Health.
We expect to launch additional markets in 2021. We expect to grow in our existing markets with our existing partners. We expect to continue to develop and to share proof points of our model and the impact it's having on engagement, on utilization, on spend, on quality outcomes for populations that we serve, and look to continue to be at the forefront of innovation and in tech and in healthcare for marginalized communities. And so, we recognize that it's going to be a long time before life goes back to the way things were for many of the folks that we serve, which means in many ways that the need for the kind of model that we deploy is more now than it has ever been and will continue to be so. And so we just look forward to continue to do the work. How about for you? What does the next year look like for you all?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty excited about the upcoming year. Look, the vision of the company is to help healthcare professionals live better lives, and the mission is to help them find and do their best work. And so what that means tactically for nurses is, Incredible Health is not just the place where you find a job, it's the place where you manage your career. And so in 2020, we added several features that enabled that. So for example, we offer free continuing education to every single nurse in the country, which is something they need to renew and activate their licenses. We have more and more services like that are launching. So for example, in beta right now, we have a mental health service for nurses, which was very relevant before the pandemic, but even more so now. And also creating an exclusive social network for nurses too. Where they can support each other more directly. 90% of nurses are women, 30% of them identify as minorities. And then on the hospital side, the nursing and HR team leaders that we work with are also very focused on diversity. So it's become part and parcel of our mission. And so some of the things that we've considered there are just removing bias from the platform in whichever way we can. So for example, we automatically sort the candidates in the talent list when employers are viewing them to make sure that everyone gets equal opportunity. Another example is nurses are able to hide their profile pictures and use avatars if they prefer. Another example is, like, we saw in the data that employers were biasing against nurses that lived further away. So we just simply removed the current location of the nurse to remove that human bias. And so the benefit of the software platform is, like, you're just armed with so much data and activity that you can make these modifications to counter any kind of human bias that you're noticing. And that's becoming more and more top of mind for both groups of users.
That's really cool. That's really awesome.
My top advice for new entrepreneurs is to make sure that whatever you're working on and whatever idea you've come up with is, like, honestly at least 10 times better than what's already out there. It's very hard to get traction and to get attention and to get the right employees or the right customers if you're building something that's only slightly incremental to what's already out there. So I encourage, be ambitious, do a dramatic shift in whatever your product or your service is compared to the status quo, because that's what ultimately gets attention.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Finding mentors, peer supporters, and really, really building trust with people, and where you can invoke the cone of silence and you can really get real, and because it can be very lonely otherwise, and surrounding yourself with people who you trust, you can go to for counsel, for guidance, for just venting, but creating a real safe space that over time I hope becomes our equivalent of the golf course or wherever it is that the guys go to cut deals and do fun things. And then the second is be as intentional about your product and what it is you're bringing to the market as you are about the culture of the organization you build, because it will become your home. This is the place you spend the most of your time. You're pouring your heart and soul into it. You're inviting others to join you on the journey, and building culture and investing in building a culture that is going to be high performing and also a reflection of you and what you're trying to put out in the world is by no means easy, but it is in many ways one of the most impactful things you can do, and don't allow it to happen around you. Be active, be intentional, be really proactive about what you want your culture to look and feel like. Put it on paper and really put it out into the world.